Chapter 8. At the train depot. Sophia was cheered up right away by the news. Wow, that is a bit of good luck for us. Daniel had apparently cheered up as well, and he laughed out loud in agreement as they crossed an unmarked intersection and headed for Parsons Avenue. The moon was now more visible in the night sky, and its silvery glow shone down on them as they walked companionably and side by side down Parsons Avenue. When they arrived at the train depot, they found it deserted and with only a single bed of broad-leaved evergreen shrubs for vegetation. Although there was nothing particularly remarkable about the depot itself, there was a beautiful red train sitting on the railroad tracks that Sophia thought was quite remarkable. She had no idea why, but the very sight of the train filled her with an inexplicable sense of excitement and anticipation. Daniel gave the train only a passing glance, but Sophia could not take her eyes off it as they made their way over to the open-air loading platform. The depot's one lone bench was unoccupied, and as she and Daniel sat down on it, they began looking around for any sign of the time conductor. Sophia was just starting to worry that the time conductor might have been detained when a young man with bright sea-blue eyes and wind-blown blonde hair came running excitedly up to them. "Sophia, you made it. I can't believe our plan actually worked. TC had an errand to run, but he will be back soon, and I was just taking a walk to stretch my legs." The young man paused suddenly and stared wide-eyed at Sophia. "Oh, I am sorry. I forgot myself for a minute there. You really don't remember me?" Sophia smiled apologetically. "I am sorry I don't. But you must be the other friend I made. I really do wish I could remember you and the time conductor, but I am hoping I will get my memory back very soon." Sophia thought she noted just a hint of sadness in the young man's eyes then, but his countenance brightened quickly again. "Oh yes, I am sure it will, Sophia, and I do just want to say that it is great to see you again. TC and I were so worried. Oh, and let me reintroduce myself, my name is Spencer." Sophia decided she liked him right away, and she had no trouble believing that she and Spencer had become great friends. "It is very nice to meet you again, Spencer." Spencer smiled and turned to Daniel with his hand outstretched. "You must be Daniel. It is good to finally meet you, and let me be the first to officially welcome you to our team." Daniel shook Spencer's hand stiffly and with a somewhat stoic expression on his face. "Thank you, it is good to meet you too, but what is all this business about a team?" Daniel's tone was so abrasive that Sophia gave him an openly puzzled look. Spencer seemed to notice something was wrong too, because his manner became more formal as he took a step backwards and ignored Daniel's question entirely. "Okay, well, TC should be back shortly, and until then you are both free to wait for him here, or if you like, you can come aboard the train with me now." Spencer glanced over at Sophia again with a worried expression that he did not try to conceal. Sophia mustered up a cheerful smile to reassure Spencer she was all right, even though she was not feeling particularly cheerful at all now. "Thank you, Spencer. I think Daniel and I will just wait here for the time conductor." Spencer nodded briefly before heading off at a jog in the direction of the train. Sophia waited until Spencer was well out of sight before turning to Daniel in open agitation. "What was that all about? You were downright rude to him." Sophia was so upset that she was seriously considering leaving Daniel right there and joining Spencer on the train. Daniel did not say anything at first, but instead he pulled out the cap he had worn on the terrible day of their breakup back at the picnic table and put it on. Sophia cringed at the sight of the cap as it reminded her of their breakup. "I just don't trust him, Sophia. He seems too sure of himself, and did you notice how he took all the credit for your rescue?" Daniel stopped there, but Sophia urged him to continue. "And what else, Daniel?" There was now a blazing fierceness in Daniel's eyes that reminded Sophia of the sharp coolness of blue fire. "How can you not see it, Sophia?" Sophia was not so sure now that she did want to hear the rest, but she drew in a sharp breath and gathered up her courage. "See what, Daniel?" There was a heavy silence now hanging between them until Daniel finally spoke in a rough whisper. "How he feels about you, it's obvious." Sophia blinked at him in genuine surprise. "How do you think he feels about me, Daniel?" "Because it was not obvious to me at all, and I don't even remember him." What I do remember vividly is that you and I are in some kind of big trouble right now, and we only made it safely here to the train depot because of you. I am sorry, Daniel, that I have not properly thanked you for rescuing me, so let me be sure to say it now. Thank you. You did an amazing job of getting us out of that horrible place." Daniel's expression softened at her thanks, and then, and much to Sophia's relief, he removed the awful cap. "There is no need to apologize. I am the one at fault again. Even if I am right about Spencer, I am acting like a jerk, especially after what I have done to you. This whole thing is really getting to me, and I don't much like myself right now." Sophia's irritation dissipated completely as she thought about all the stress and strain they both were under. "I am not sure any relationship could handle the kind of pressure we have been dealing with, Daniel. We clearly have an enemy, and I am starting to understand now just how serious and important all of this must be. We really need to meet with this time conductor and find out why we were kidnapped." Although there was still a lingering hint of fierceness in Daniel's eyes, Sophia noted that they were a good deal softer now and less guarded. "It is still no excuse for how I have treated you, Sophia, but you are right. We have an enemy who sent Candace to me for some reason, and we need to find out why." Hearing Daniel finally say the name out loud of the person who had interfered so badly with their relationship sent an icy shiver down Sophia's spine. Suddenly she felt quite ill at ease at the thought of their kidnapper going to so much trouble to break them up. Shivering again, Sophia gave Daniel a wide-eyed questioning look. "How do you feel now about joining Spencer on the train? I don't think I want to be out here in the open like this anymore. It's so dark and it's getting colder by the minute." Daniel reached for her hand before answering, and this time Sophia did not withdraw it. "I think we have kept Spencer waiting for long enough. Let's go." The moment Sophia and Daniel started to walk in the direction of the train, a sudden and sharp wind rose up as if out of nowhere. They tried, with a great deal of effort, to pick up their pace and push onward against the rapidly accelerating winds, and when they finally reached the train, Daniel glanced up at the night sky for any evidence of a coming storm. "That's a pretty strong wind, Sophia, and it seems to be getting stronger." Sophia swallowed nervously. "I agree, Daniel, and I don't like it one bit. Do you think it could be a tornado or something?" Daniel looked up at the night sky again and shook his head in confusion. "I don't really know. It could be, or maybe it's just that a bad storm is coming. Either way, we had better hurry up and get on the train." There were now large bundles of loose tumbleweeds rolling wildly all around them, and Sophia realized with alarm that the winds had likely carried them from a great distance to the train depot. As Daniel and Sophia stood in front of the ladder leading up to the high front cab of the train, Sophia did not know which was worse: her fear of heights or her fear of the fierce winds now whipping all around them. Just as she worried her fears might paralyze her completely, Daniel put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Don't worry, Sophia, we will be okay. We will be safe inside the train and out of this wind in no time. I know you are afraid of heights, but I promise I won't let you fall. I will hold the ladder steady for you." Daniel's encouragement did help give Sophia the courage she needed to start climbing the ladder, and Daniel was true to his word. The ladder remained steady as she climbed, and much to her surprise the climb went better than she had thought it would. Thankfully she reached the top of the ladder without incident, and soon stepped inside the train with a sigh of relief. The interior of the front cab, although compact, was surprisingly luxurious, and Sophia spotted Spencer right away talking with someone who she quickly realized must be the time conductor back from his errand. The time conductor and Spencer had their backs to Sophia, and were apparently so deep in conversation that they had not yet heard her enter the train. Glancing back anxiously at the entrance to the cab, Sophia prayed a brief prayer under her breath for Daniel's safety. Within seconds Daniel entered the train looking a bit disheveled and wind-blown. His eyes made a quick sweep of the cab's interior as he walked over to Sophia and loudly cleared his throat to get the time conductor and Spencer's attention. "Hello there. It's Daniel and Sophia. I'm not sure if either of you have noticed it yet, but there is some kind of crazy big storm brewing outside." Spencer and the time conductor stood up right away and came over to them, and the time conductor beamed a broad and welcoming smile at them. "It is good to see you again, Daniel. You did a great job at getting you and Sophia to safety, and Spencer and I are mighty glad you decided to join us. And the time conductor paused then and seemed to be momentarily overcome with emotion as he looked over at Sophia. Miss Sophia, I understand that you don't yet remember me, but I cannot begin to tell you how very relieved and happy I am to see you safe and sound and aboard Old Destiny again. Sophia felt immediately at ease with the kind conductor and smiled. Thank you. I am happy to be here and to be aboard this beautiful train. I am hoping to get my memory back very soon, but I definitely have the strongest sense that I have been aboard this train before. TC gave her another broad smile. I am believing you will get your memory back very soon, Miss Sophia, but until then please don't hesitate to ask me or Spencer any questions that might be on your mind. And that goes for you too, Daniel. Daniel nodded urgently as though he had been anxiously waiting for the opportunity to speak again. Thank you for that, and I do actually have a question right away, and it's about the crazy weather outside. Have you by any chance heard reports of a storm going on right now? Spencer, who had been quietly listening up to this point, spoke up suddenly. That is what TC and I were just talking about. We could see the high winds starting up outside, and TC thinks he has an idea of what they might be about. And in answer to your question, and according to TC, the high winds are not the result of a storm, but are actually the result of the opening of an illegal time portal by the Time Bandit. Oh, and that's who kidnapped both of you, by the way. We call him a Time Bandit, and he hijacks timelines and takes them over for his own purposes. And this illegal time portal is probably what caused the rift or breach in our timeline that created an alternate timeline. TC also thinks that the Time Bandit has just reopened his illegal time portal for some reason, and that if we can locate it, we can use the rift locators to find the breach and fix our timeline. Spencer was nearly out of breath as he suddenly stopped talking and realized that Sophia and Daniel were both staring at him with wide-eyed and incredulous looks on their faces. Turning abruptly toward TC, Spencer looked at him questioningly. I hope I did not say too much too soon, TC. It sort of all just came spilling out. TC chuckled. I actually think you did a great job with the explanation, my friend, and in the interest of time, and especially considering that we need to find the location of the Time Bandit's time portal straight away, I think we had best tell Sophia and Daniel as much as we can and as fast as we can right now.